Hello, and welcome for the very last time to the Super Mario Second Land. In this episode, we have a dark deed we have to do. The Super Mario wants his castle back, even though the Wario claimed the castle. Wario found this castle uninhabited, fair and square, and then he locked it, throwing all the 6 golden coins to some just weirdos, and he claimed it in his name. And that is fair. That's how the law works. If you find an empty house, it's your house now. That's how it goes. That's why you have to lock your door, because if you don't lock your door, someone else could come inside and say the house is empty. It's mine now. That's the law. And I'm aware of how the law works. I once had the word law in my username, and that's just fair. So, up until this point, I have been practicing. The levels before we played them. So, I went and played all the zones. I got all 6 golden coins. But I did not practice Wario's Castle. And the reason for this isn't like, I was too lazy to come and play this level. The reason for that is, I remember this level being decently difficult. And I remember the first time I played this game, I scummed through this level. And I was like, you know what? Let's just have a rough time on this level, because this is the only level for this episode. Like, spoilers, there isn't like a secret extra level. This is the final level of the video game. When we get to the top of this, we'll have our confrontation with Wario. So this is it, baby. We've hit the final thing. The episode says finale in the title. I'm not lying to you. This is the end of the Let's Play. There's not going to be another episode past this. Regardless of... You may be listening to the tone of my voice and thinking, that sounds like sarcasm. It's not. This is the end. This is it. We're just going to keep going at this level until I win or I die. And by I don't mean like, I ran out of lives as Mario. I mean, I physically die. I am still hungry from the last episode because I hit record, and I was like, I'm just going to keep going because I want to do this now. I want to see what happens when we get to the end of the castle. And I love the little like Goombas when you look at the walls, there's like Goombas, and then there's like the darker purple ones, which look kind of like a guy laying on his side, like sprawled out, like paint me one of your French girls kind of style. And the guy I like to think of it being is the shopkeep. Oh, and I did a bad job. The shopkeep from Wario Land Forge, because it kind of has like, the round Mr. Game & Watch face with kind of a nose. Maybe that's harder to see than I think it is, but I can kind of see Mr. Game & Watch with extra long legs kind of sprawled out and paint me like one of your French girl modes. Let's go ahead and duck so we can get by these spiky balls. And these spiky balls have enemy names. They're considered like proper full-on enemies, despite just being like big spike balls that, just kind of swing around. We'll go ahead and duck. We'll wait for the fireball to come by. We'll make our jump, and it's all going to be good. We're going to continue onwards. We just gotta be careful. It's kind of funny to think, okay, this is Mario's castle. Oh, damn it, my stupid brain. I was so busy like looking at the Goomba. I'm an idiot. This used to be Mario's castle. Why the hell is Mario's castle like so like villainous? Is this just a true reflection of what's in Mario's heart? Did Wario come and renovate it? I don't think that's the case, because when you see Wario's castle in Wario Land 2, it's like a pretty like... I don't mean to shit talk Wario or anything, but a pretty vanilla, straightforward castle. Like, it's pretty like, yeah, this is just a castle, with a big hen outside, as you do. But like, I don't think Wario had enough time to come and renovate an entire castle to be like, hey, this is a Bowser's Castle level. Maybe Mario... Oh my god, I pushed the run button instead of jump. My brain is falling apart. Which is definitely a good sign for what you want to see whenever you're just throwing yourself at a level repeatedly. And it's actually very cool, because we started this with 99 lives, so we'll know exactly how many lives without me having to go and count like in editing, like in post or anything. We do have 200 coins, so if I start running low on lives, we can go play the gambling game and maybe get a few more lives. Because when you get a game over in the game, I believe I mentioned this earlier in the LP, maybe in the first episode, I don't entirely remember anymore though. When you get a game over in this game, you lose all of your golden coins and you have to go recollect them. Now, you don't have to go do every level in the game again, but you do have to recomplete every boss level, beat every boss, which is a big punishment for losing. So do not want to lose here, because otherwise that's going to be a lot of time out of my pocket, and then that's definitely a recording session too, because like I said, I'm kind of hungry, and I don't think if this goes on for longer than 30 minutes, I'll be able to like live anymore. I'll die. I'll hit the ground and I'll be like a Dark Souls when they die. and then I'll fade, and I'll maybe say like, "Damn this town," like a Bloodborne, you know, because video games and being a cool gamer, that's what you do. But yeah, like perhaps Mario, like maybe Mario's just, this is a true reflection of his heart. Like he's just a villain, you know. He made a villainous castle with like just like freaking like flamethrowers shooting at the entrance. Like it's got big spiky hanging balls. Maybe his only exposure to castles at this point were Bowser's castle. He'd never been invited to Peach's castle at this point, because he didn't get invited to Peach's castle until the Super Mario 64, because I'm just canonically counting anything that we see happen, unless you count the cartoons. And if you do count the cartoons, do they go to Peach's castle in the cartoon? They probably do. I don't know. There's a lot of cartoons. I don't remember them all that well. Yeah, they definitely do, because I remember there was like cartoons where they're like in like a Toad Town. Well, like a town of toads, but when I said a Toad Town, it was like a Toad Town cartoon equivalent, but it was a Toad Town. It just wasn't like Paper Mario Toad Town. When I say Toad Town, I think Paper Mario Toad Town, even though there's been Toad Towns aside from Paper Mario Toad Town. So yeah, very cool. We're getting not very far into this level. I think we're maybe getting to the 1/3 part before, like the 1/3 like mark before I die, which is pretty good when you think about it. This level's just a big jump in difficulty, in my opinion. I think it's probably a pretty widely held opinion. I just don't know entirely that much, because I don't spend a lot of times in like, you know, online communities like forums and stuff. I never really liked forums all that much. I could not get behind them. I did not care. Like I don't particularly want to, not like antisocial, like, oh, I don't want to talk to these people, but like I would what do you call it, lurk forums, but I wouldn't post. I wasn't a big poster. I was a big lurker. I cared about what people had to say, not so much like, here's what I had to say, which is why I grew up to become a Let's Player. I mean, not like I do this professionally or anything, but, you know, now I'm the one who's shouting my game facts at you. I have become the game fact. And I was a game fact person, not a game FAQ, even though game FAQ is arguably, and by arguably I mean objectively, the correct way to say that, but it was always game facts in my brain, which, you know, with my lazy pronunciation, could easily be game facts, like FACTS. But, you know, with my lazy pronunciation, anything can be anything. You know, a tad can be a toad. You know, it happens. It happens from time to time. And ooh, that spike ball right there keeps getting me. I need to be more aware of these spike balls as they're happening. And does Wario have blue eyes? I think Wario has brown. Okay, what? Wario. What color are Wario's eyes? I think they're brown, right? Oh, he just has like black dot eyes, huh? Maybe he has like, I think he has like blue. Here, is this a super? Give me a. Yeah, here's a massive image of Wario. View image. Okay, yeah, his eyes are like black little dots, but he has like blue like rings around them. So, Wario blue eyes, I suppose. For some reason, I was thinking like Wario had brown eyes, huh? Maybe Mario has brown. No, Mario absolutely has blue eyes. And that was the worst way to lose that health ever. But that's fine. We're just gonna continue onwards and die sooner than later. Which is fine, because we wasted a lot of time just standing there letting me Google Wario because I couldn't remember my own son's eyes. And not that the time matters all that much, because as you can see, we have 900 seconds. And, you know, this level's decently long, but it's not a 900-second long level. Honestly, I don't really understand why this game has timed levels at all. It's not like it's all that relevant. It feels just kind of like a hanger-on to like old mechanics, like, oh yeah, you know, video game levels have a length of time you're allowed to be in them, so we'll just put time in this video game, kind of like how, you know, lives were like that for a long time before people were like, wait, lives are bullshit, let's just get rid of these. Which, you know, even Mario's gotten rid of lives at this point, you know, with the Super Mario Odyssey, where you just lose like 10 coins every time you die now, and you have to go collect it because Dark Souls, you know, the Dark Souls, even though even Dark Souls has gotten rid of the whenever you lose money, or whenever you die, you lose money, and you can go pick it up, because now it's Sekiro. I think Sekiro, is that how you pronounce it? I was saying Sekiro for a long time, because I'm a dipshit. But in that game, whenever you lose half your money, and it's just gone. You don't get to save it, which is very mean. I want to go do my corpse run, but the FromSoft has taken that away from me. Whenever they looked at Dark Souls and were like, what if we made Dark Souls a platinum game? Sekiro, very good, by the way. I'm enjoying it so far. But that's not the topic at hand. The topic at hand is this castle, but we've just been repeating that segment without making much progress for a while. And now we get to get back to the other segment that keeps killing us. In this segment, I don't know why this keeps getting us. This isn't like a rough thing at all. Like maybe this one coming up can be a little, because we just got to duck and then we got to jump, but like it's not like a thing. It ain't no thing. It's fine. Yeah, I did not practice this level. Oh, I love the fists. I forgot about the fists. The fists with the, they're Mario's hand. But like because the way they're facing, they're Wario at the moment, which is very cool. They're coming very fast. I just slide. Yeah, no, that didn't work. Oh wait, was that a? Why did those things flash? I don't know why the tiles flashed on the ground. Do they fall and drop you in the area below? I hope that's not the... Oh, you know what it is. It's pressure plates. It's like an Indiana Jones ass. If you press this, the fist's gonna come down. That's what's happening there. I get it now. I understand. Or at least I think that's what's happening. I think it's intended to be a pressure plate. Maybe it is a thing that falls and drops you into the area below. I hope not, because that'd be incredibly rude. Just because like this level, like as you've seen, it's yeah, I'm struggling a little. I've died 12 times, Jesus. But like we're not even like halfway through the level, so like if we're already getting to like, haha, I'm gonna send you back to the beginning of the level, like at least it's at the beginning of the level to teach you like that's a thing that could potentially happen. But also that's just rude because it's like we're in a long big boy level with a lot of things going on. Luckily we made it through here with as the Super Mario. So now we have Fire Mario, so now we have an extra hit, so we can continue on with an extra hit to if I mess up the fifth segment again, like maybe we can just eat some damage and continue onwards, which not exactly how I'd want to play this, but if that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be. Okay, so we walk out. There's no fist. Yeah, I hit the thing, the fist starts coming down. So I think at this point we have to eat the damage. Maybe if we run through and we time it just right, we can get through. Oh, and I did it again here. We'll get through while we have invincibility. I'm going to jump, and I landed on the corner of the thing, and I ended up eating the damage, like I said, but it was mostly because of accidents, and man, I didn't get a big enough jump off there. That's fine. We're learning. We're continuing onwards. We're becoming more powerful, and we'll, eventually get to see the superstar at the top of this. I was going to say a tower, but it's not exactly a tower. I mean, the castle has towers, but, it in and of itself is not a full, like, tower structure. I think that's how that works. It's been a while since I took an architecture class, so it was also like a high school level architecture class. So it's actually no, that was a straight up engineering class, was it? I don't know. I don't remember anything. Like that was a long time ago. So what do I know about anything? I don't know shit about shit. Wait, that was it. I was going to bemoan the point because the reason I said that was like, oh, I haven't taken an architecture thing since high school, and then I was going to be like, oh, but that was since high school, so maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But it was like the entire point of that sentence originally was, oh, that was from high school. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know how things work. But like then I was just going to hammer home the point by stating the point again because I guess I forgot the original point when I first started speaking my words. Okay, so we're gonna do this right this time. Let's make a big jump, and I did a bad job. Here I did a bad job. Didn't do a bad job on that last one, but we're still the little guy, and we'll go ahead and do a big jump, big jump, big jump. All right, I just had to concentrate there because I was like, it's not it's block specific platforming, but not like it wasn't like pixel perfect or super rough or anything. Is this one just like a little like get you like they're gonna sit here and wait for the fire to come out, but no fire's ever gonna come out in your face, player. And yes, I'll please take a mushroom. I would appreciate that because now we're on I believe this is the top layer of the castle. I think it's a 3-layer castle. What are these gonna do? Are these gonna fall? I assume these are gonna fall if we. Oh, it looks like they're gonna rise if you stand on them too long, which makes sense because there's spikes above us. Oh, and I thought I fell for a second. I gave up hope in my heart, but I think we're good. Are we at the end? No. There's more stuff. Okay. What are these gonna do? See, I don't want to see the. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was gonna be another pressure plate, so I made a jump instead of just waiting for these to turn out to be thwomps. But that's fine. It's interesting. We saw the big boy bees near the beginning of the games who were thwomps. And then now we see these. Do we have to? Okay, yeah, we have to defeat the Wario Ball. I couldn't remember what was up with these. Oh, we gotta jump on it a couple times? Okay, cool. It's like a little mini boss. It's like a little ball with a Wario's face on it. And then we get to continue onwards. Is there another one of these? Oh, of course. Yeah, there's actually 2 more of these. Oh, and I thought I murdered myself by jumping. I thought it was going to bounce me into the other one. Luckily, we've kind of desynced them a little bit, so now we could jump on them. Oh, their colors swapped mysteriously. Interesting. I wonder if they flashed those colors and we just caught them in the middle of a flash, or if that was a color glitch. Because I saw in the comments of the hack that whenever you pair this game with a randomizer, that sometimes the colors get messed up because of some of the dynamic color palette stuff, which I assume has to do with those, the levels where it shifts from like it gets darker as you go through levels, like the bonus level with all the Goombas, and I think the one in Special Puppy Zone 2, the one that sent me to hell, sent me to double hell because I was already in hell before that. I think those are the dynamic color palette things, and apparently the randomizer messes with that. So maybe sometimes the game can be confused into what palette it should be using. I suppose I'm not entirely sure how all that works because I've never messed with color palettes myself. Not a thing I've touched, and I probably should because it seems like a useful thing to know how to do that. Oh, dang! That sucked, but that's fine because I needed to move my headset. My headset was starting to fall off, and I was like, oh, when I get to the end of this segment, I'll put it back on. But it's fine because I died, and now we get to do the level again. Hooray! So I'm sorry if this isn't going to be the most interesting episode since we're just kind of doing the same segment over and over again. I originally, when in my brain, when I was like, oh yeah, I remember this level being hard, so, oh my god, my controller, what are you doing? My controller just decided to stop for a second. Luckily it was, I wasn't in danger, and I didn't, accidentally, nudge myself off or anything, and also if I did, it was at the beginning, so who gives a shit, but, I should really figure out why my controller messes up sometimes. I think I might have been pulling away from the Bluetooth thing. And maybe I was just getting a little too far, because it's a cheap Bluetooth thing. Should probably upgrade, but why should I do that? It still works, so I'm just going to keep being stubborn and using this, and then just complaining about it every single time it happens in a Let's Play. And, I've gone over it before. It's my fault. I'm not going to be like, oh, my controller desynced, because I know my controller has the potential to desync, and I should fix the problem, and I'm just not. So there's that. And let's see if we can do this without being bad. Okay, so yeah, see, we're not being bad. Oh, no, I'm gonna be. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. I saved it at the very end. I thought I was gonna fuck it up right there and then there, but it's fine. But yeah, this platforming isn't too rough because you have the air control in this game, unlike in Mario Land 1. Mario Land 1, that'd be oofa doofa tough. Because, Mario was a bit stiffer in that game. In this game, you have a bit more air control, since, the game is designed more like the Mario world, rather than the Mario Brothers one, which, Mario Brothers one's a bit stiff. You can complain, it's Mario Brothers, you can't really complain about that video game, or else you get sent to the video game gulag, the video gulag, which is also my Patreon and my podcast Patreon. I was like, that's my Patreon name, but you don't. I forgot that Patreons and podcasts were different because I just was like, yeah, Patreon, yeah, the things where you talk, But yeah, my podcast, the video gulag. I bet there's got to be a thing called the video gulag already. There's no way there isn't. But it's fine because we're almost to the end of helicopter checker block guy, and those checker blocks. Oh, I was about to be like, those checker blocks aren't even, but I'm guessing the intent was to make it look like it's rounded, and that's why it's not like a proper square checkerboard. Oh, and I messed that up, but that's fine. Sometimes you mess things up, and as long as we can get to the end of this area, there's the another health up thing, which will give us the fire flower. Is this the Now we just climb up the stairs. We get to the end, we'll get the fire flower. This thing isn't shooting fire at us because it's just like, I may be a piranha plant, but I'm no Venus fire trap? Is that what they call the fire piranha plants? Because damn. Well, that's fine. We're still the double Mario. It's a shame we're not triple Mario. I'm not sure if you can use fireballs on the Wario balls. You probably can, because you can kill most things in this game with fire. Most bosses, so I would assume maybe the Wario Ball mini boss. would go down to fire. Oh, well, that's fine. It all worked out in the end. I assume you can take this guy out with fire, but it's fine. It's easy. You know, you jump on him like was it 2 jumps or was it 3? I want to say it's 3 because 3 is always the number, but yeah, my brain remembered 2. And it's also probably good that they only take 2 hits since there's 2 of them. Oh, damn it. Oh, if you do the spin jump, you can take him out on 1 jump. Neat. That's cool to know. Let's go ahead and get out of his way before he reactivates his hurt box and, you know, clips us. And it's cool and it's good. Is there going to be a room with 3 of them now? Or is this the... No, it's just a room with 2 of them. Can we run past this? Yeah, there wasn't a pipe there, so I wasn't sure if we'd be able to run past it. I probably should have just assumed... Oh, and I jumped straight into him! Nice! That's how you play video games, baby! But yeah, you know, we could edit out, you know... I could edit out me running back up there and just keep showing, like, the attempts as we get better and better at this, because that's what you would normally do for... Or that's normally what I would do when I'm editing. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be subversive and, like, show all of my difficult having attempts, which is like, no, this is literally lower effort than what I would have done otherwise. So, like, I'm sitting here like, oh, look at me doing something different than normal, but it's literally lower effort. Like, to be fair, I have to talk more. And to me, that makes it higher effort than just, oh, I'm going to cut and, you know, edit ahead. But also this episode would have been like 5 minutes long had I done that, because then it would have been like, oh, bad attempt. And, you know, like, eventually we would have just kind of like worked our way up to the end. Even if I did like what I did with Pumpy Zone, and I still haven't edited Pumpy Zone yet, but I know I'm going to edit that segment and, like, you know, showing every single death, like, clip by clip, it still wouldn't end up being terribly long, probably. And, you know, I do want to... Oh, I fucked it up. I was about to say, oh, we're getting more powerful because I made it to the end of this segment with Fire Mario, but then I, of course, you know, hit the thing to get punched in the face by Wario, which, yes, please. Oh, and yeah, I know I messed that one up. I started pushing down on the D-pad, and I was like, no, my finger's not where it should be anymore, and now nothing's gonna work well in my life anymore. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes in your life, things just don't work out. I feel like I say that a lot, where I'm like, sometimes things just don't work out. Potato, potato. With great power comes great responsibility. You know, gotta come up with a new cool catchphrase like, I winged it, man. You know, oh, like a wingman. Actually, now I think about it, it's very clever. And I'm really disappointed that we got hit. I have a bad habit of being like, oh, we, because, you know, I feel like you're on this journey with me. But also, it's probably bad for me to be like, we, like, oh, we fucked it, whenever it's like, no, I fucked it up. I shouldn't be wrestling any of the blame on you guys, even though you're here experiencing the journey with me as we continue across Fire Pit Hell once more. How do you think they get lava into the castles, by the way? I know people mention that, like, you can't put lava in the castle because it would melt the floor and whatever. But, you know, let's just ignore that. Let's say, okay, they have a lava-proof tub. I fucked it up again because why would I do anything else? Oh, and then I died. Neat. Not neat. You know, like, you know, oh, I can accept. Oh, yeah. They have like a fireproof, like, flooring. Fire, you know, lava proof that won't melt, whatever. They got the equipment for it. But, like, moving the lava's another thing. Like, are they, like, creating the lava, like, right then and there? Like, oh my god, I'm just gonna kill myself. Excuse me. Because, you know, we shouldn't be taking a hit that early on. Honestly, we should probably be able to make it to 5th zone without being hit now. That should kind of be our goal, to not be hit till we get to 5th zone, so we can be, you know, the Fire Marios for the later segments. Not that, like, having fire helps us all that terrible amount. Maybe it could be useful against the balls. And see, we shouldn't be getting hit here, and that's fine because we ended up dying. But, you know, moving lava. Let's say they're creating the lava here. That's insane because they have something to create that amount. You know, the amount of heat to, like, melt the rock. Like, at that point, like, dog, just use whatever you're using to heat the rock and melt the rock. That can just be your obstacle. You didn't need to add the extra step of having it melt rock and create molten rock. You had whatever source of heat was melting your thing to create the lava. Which, okay, cool. You know, I'm glad we're getting into the realism of video games, because that's a topic that everyone always finds super interesting. But also, then when you get into the, like, okay, well, making it it's not that it's infeasible, but it's impractical because it's like, okay, you've basically done an extra step for aesthetics, which I mean, I guess, many people take many more steps than one to create aesthetics. So I mean, okay, fair. But like just transporting lava, not possible or probable. Like, okay, we've already accepted they have the material to contain lava. So let's say they got a big like truck bed, 18-wheeler gallon lava holdy tank. Okay, we've accepted that. Like transporting the lava, like, okay, you how do you get the lava in the tank? I guess we just, oh, that was a bad jump. I guess we just assume they also have hoses that can suck up the lava, no problem, and dispense it, because otherwise it's like, how do you get the lava? Like, you just hope it like falls off of a cliff in just like the right way to make a lava waterfall, and that you can park your whatever your container is in such a way that it just like slurps in. But if we just go ahead and we've already made a logical leap, so we can just end up making as many logical leaps as we want, because that's how logic works. Once you've made one logical leap, what's the difference between 2 logical leaps and 1,000,000? And that's how you get flat Earth and anti-vaxxers. It's just how it works. But like, freaking like, okay, so they have trucks that can hold the lava. They have hoses that can suck up the lava. They got the lava in the thing, but how do they keep it lava? Like, at that point, they still have the thing that keeps it warm enough to stay lava and not cool down and become rock. And like, I don't know how long lava stays lava. I've never lived anywhere. Volcanus? I've never lived. Volcanus is bad. I've never lived near a volcano, so I'm not entirely sure. Like I imagine it's very, very hot, so I imagine it stays molten for a while before it cools to the point where it's like no longer even a little molten. Like, I imagine it very quickly cools down to the point where it's like not super-duper molten, and that's probably where your difference between magma and lava comes from, other than like, oh, it's in the earth, because I imagine that there's a bigger distinction than just, well, it's magma when it's in the earth. Like, I'm guessing it's not just a nomenclature thing, where it's just like, well, when it's in the earth, it's this. It's like, well, when the bird's in the sky, it's not a fly beast, and when it's on the air, it's a ground man. Like, it's probably like when it's in the ground, there's a different like chemical reaction. Like, maybe it's hotter because it's still in its natural environment. It's down there, it's still hot. Maybe there's more pressure. There's some kind of chemical thing happening that properly differentiates magma and lava. God, we've been talking about lava for a while. I just realized. So I'm just saying, pick your poison. Like, neither option's entirely great. Okay, option 3, they have a man who creates lava like a Kainu from One Piece, and the problem solves itself. Oh my god, I just realized it's going to be super cool late game One Piece when like they go to deal with a Kainu. If that ends up happening, I assume it will, because it's a shonen anime. And he had like they like fortify the marine fortress with like a lava moat, which I guess they sort of did during the Paramount War, Marineford, whatever you want to call it. Which now I'm just kind of getting into One Piece spoilers, which probably isn't the right thing to talk about. But which is fine, because we've made it to the I was about to say we made it to the end segment, which is like kind of a joke. But then I messed up. I think I keep hitting myself on that spike, like that same segment of spikes too. I like that they kind of give you like a cool down, like, okay, here's some thwomps, just take it slow, cool down, before you go in to do battle with the balls. We haven't even seen Wario yet. Oh, and of course, I mess up the ball immediately. What they do with the ball right there is actually very smart, that I now that I think about it, where they make it like pause for a second before it becomes like active again, because a lot of the enemies in this game you can kind of like, or the bosses in this game you can kind of cheese, and okay, I was worried they were going to become like super in sync again. Go ahead and take shelter. Since they take a second, you can't just continuously bounce on their head and like very quickly murder them like you can some of the bosses in the game. Like what I did is Tatanga, basically, where you just kind of like stun lock him essentially. Since they kind of take a second to like, okay, I'm gonna reset the bracket. They can kind of get a moment to breathe. And I think these are the last ones. I'm hoping it is, because that was room 3 of Ball Hell. And yes, we've come to the end where they give us a power up. So just beyond that door is Wario. I need to take a moment before I'm ready for this. So I definitely didn't walk away from the recording to fill up my water. and I certainly didn't get a phone call and have the rest of my day happen after that. And then, a week definitely didn't pass, and I certainly didn't have to replay that level again. No, what had happened was I steeled myself for the fight, causing the Super Mario to gain 10 lives and enter Fire Flower mode because he's so ready for the fight. But, even though a week certainly didn't pass, even if a week had passed, I don't think I'd be ready for this fight regardless. And there he is. And what could he do when he sees us but laugh? For we're nothing in the face of this man. With legs so powerful, he rockets into the air, coming down like a guillotine, striking the earth and shaking it with massive force, just like guillotines are known to do. That's what they do. They don't like cut people's heads off. Especially nowadays, they don't use them to cut off billionaires' heads, even though that's what they should be used for. But he comes down like a thwomp. That's a more thematically appropriate thing, striking the earth and causing it to the ground to shake, wrestling the controls away from us. And in the end, how could we hope to fight a natural disaster like this? A tornado in the form of a man? What could we hope to do? We're just a pest before him. What could a cockroach do to take down a tornado? Well, what a cockroach can do to take down a tornado is use the cowardly tactic of striking someone in the back of the head when they're not looking, something the honorable tornado would never suspect. They would have never resort to a coward's tactic like striking someone in the back of the head when they're not looking, and then utilizing, the fact that they were too honorable to have even thought for a moment that a sneak attack could be coming. But now that Wario's seen the Super Mario for the coward he truly is, he's decided to show him that he's not playing around anymore. He's now gained the ability of flight, which he'll use to augment his ability to launch into the air and come down and smash us and try and hit us with either his very nicely rounded posterior and or the lighting fixtures that fly through the thing and sometimes lose their backing sprites because, that's just how sprite layering works. But what are we supposed to do in the face of this very powerful, very handsome, attractive man he's so tough? Well, in the end, despite the fact that Wario's toughened up and decided not to fall for the coward's tactics anymore, he's just too honorable at the end of the day, and he can't see a strike coming from above his head. And the cockroach has pushed the tornado far. But in the end, when you corner a beast like a tornado is typically referred to, what happens? But they consume a fire flower and start throwing fire at you, just as nature intended. That's what always happens in nature. I'm very aware of how nature works. And just as in nature, when the tornado starts throwing fireballs, the fight is over. That's right, the Super Mario is defeated by Wario, the only way this game could have potentially ended. The Super Mario just isn't strong enough to defeat the Wario. Wario, the greatest of all time. A scrub like the Super Mario could have never defeated him. And with that, the evil curse of the Super Mario and capitalism is lifted from Mario Land, thus allowing Wario, the rightful ruler, to reign once more and bring in an era of peace. Just the way this game was supposed to end. Thank you, Wario. Mario is defeated. And that's the end of Mario Land 2, which that's kind of a subversive end for a Mario game, especially on the Game Boy, for Mario to be defeated, because he was an evil being who needed defeating, and even Hottie McDaddy Bowser couldn't do it. We needed the true hot dad Wario. And this game's pretty good. I enjoy it, whatever. This ending theme's pretty good. Thank you, Totaka, for your good music. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, Mario Land 2, great game. Super Mario Land 1's fine, but the jump from Super Mario Land 1 to Super Mario Land 2 is huge. This game's pretty great. But when you consider that the next game is Wario Land, it's Super Mario Land 2, that's pretty great. Wario Land, pretty great-er. So pretty good game. I enjoy it. I've said my piece about the color hack. I really appreciate the removal of lag because, oh my god, the lag is crazy in the original game. The color choices are nice. Luigi's a fun little addition. But this video game, that's it. That's the video game. And, this is how the game was supposed to end when you think about it. how else would it end? Like in other Mario games, like in your Super Mario RPGs, your Paper Marios, your Mario Luigi's, Mario lives in a house. Would he live in a cow? A house? Would he live in a cow? Would he live in a house and never reference his castle if he had a castle? No, because Wario took it. It's what he does. He finds castles, he takes them, he makes them his. He found this one, he made it his. He has his castle in the end of Wario Land 1, whenever you get either the castle and or your face on the moon, the two possible endings of that video game. There are other possibilities. But, you know, he has the castle at the end of that game. He has the castle at the beginning of Wario Land 2, which is a different castle from 1, because if you look at the island, the geography of the island is different than Kitchen Island. He has the one in Wario World. He has another castle at the end of Wario World, because he gets the Spritlings to build him another one. It's just how way he does. He accumulates castles. He lives extravagantly, and then he leaves the castle, vacating it, allowing people to move in and use it as living quarters, because that's just how he is. He lives extravagantly for a time because he's a great man who deserves nice things, but then he gives back to the people. What a kind soul Wario is. And eventually, I guess he decided living in castles was a little bougie, because he found Diamond City, where he lives in a normal house, and he just lets all the weirdos of the world come and live in there and work for him, where he protects them from the evils of capitalism by allowing them to make really weird 3-second long games and just have a good old grand time. So that's Mario Land 2. Now, I do want to mention that there's a Game Genie cheat that allows Mario to defeat Wario. There's a lot of footage online of people, I guess, using that cheat and not even mentioning it because they're damn dirty cheaters, just damn dirty Mario apologists. But you know, so it's how it goes. I've even found some cartridges of the game where I guess they baked the Game Genie into the code. They stuck the Game Genie and the cartridge back into the cartridge bottle, and the cheat's just baked in now, I guess. I guess just people are just really that big of Mario apologists, huh? But you and I, we know the score. We know Wario's the greatest, and that Wario wins at the end of Super Mario Land 2. But there is another loss that the Super Mario must face, and that is he has too many lives, way more lives than he deserves, because I died a bunch at Super Pumpy Zone, and then, you know, I did not leave for a week, and he may have more lives than he was supposed to have. So now it's time for him to get his and lose those lives.
Jump up in the air, jump up, don't be scared, jump up and your cares will soar away. So just once, you better shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl.
The evil has now truly and utterly been defeated.